going live. Update that. Okay, that's going. Get it out to the Twitterverse. Good evening, Trill. Things are good on my end. How are things on yours? That's not how I spell night. And tweeting away. What's up, Bumjack? Glad to have you here. Trill started rewatching Digimon a couple weeks ago, and it led me down the rabbit hole of getting my first V pet. Oh, congratulations! Welcome to the club. It's a good place to be a part of, even if it is a little bit pricey sometimes, but I'm assuming you probably got a Digital Monster version 20th. Those are a good one to start with, of course. Nice and abundant, easy to get your hands on. Soon we'll have more of those. We'll have the Digital Monster X, and that'll be easy to get your hands on too. I am excited about that. Literally the exact same thing. Well, good, awesome. Glad to see. I do love seeing new people join the VPets communities, because, like, I don't know, I grew up with this kind of stuff, so it's like, for me, it's like, of course I like them, right? Or, you know, I guess I also never grew out of it, which is like something could be said of that. But you know, I liked it from a young age, and I still like it today. And it's fascinating to see that even though, like, with this kind of like crappy technology as they are, people still pick them up these days. It really speaks to the kind of that just, I don't know, it feels a specific kind of fun that you don't get from other things. What up, Flame? Good to see you around. Oh, Julian went all the way. Got a Pendulum Z, huh? Very nice. Met your channel because of the hatchery page. Excellent, yeah. They kind of work hand in hand. I got the... Which one did I start first? Oh yeah, I would have started the YouTube first. I would have started this channel before I made the Digitama hatchery, because originally it was all spreadsheet, like what we're looking at right here. That was all the guide was, so I didn't even have the website up before I made the channel. I still get a few people who are like, oh wait, you're that guy? Like, between the YouTube channel, the guide, and the Discord server, sometimes people don't make the connection that I'm the same person, which is, I find really funny. Especially, like, because this YouTube channel's name is Humilomon, and a lot of people think that's my name. I think I said that in a previous stream, but yeah. It's Humilos is the name, not Humilomon. Humilomon is just the Digimon channel. I was wanted one as a kid, but couldn't afford one. Yeah, no, was a real struggle back in the day. It wasn't, I remember when I got a job, one of the first things I did was import VPets. Probably wasn't one of the first things. I'm sure I, like, was trying to spend it on other things like gas and all that, because I had to pay for a way to get to the job. But, yeah. Alright, so we are at 8 o'clock. That's go time. We can take the banner off now. Alright. Let's see, who are we working with over here today? We got Lady Digimon, right? Oh, she's covered in poop. We gotta fix that. Boom. Alright. Yeah, there goes Lady Digimon X. Raising her for the current hatch we're doing, the Digital Monster X hatch. I chose the red X2 because I love this device. It has a lot of Digimon I love. Lady Digimon X, like, she's fine, but she also evolved from Manta-Raymon X, who I actually really like. And that evolved from Gomamon X, who I also really like. But in backup right now, I have Triceramon X, and I'm going to be raising Okuamon X at some point. And we'll see how I do in the tournament. We will see. Alright, so we're just going to let her kind of hang out over there while I do a bunch of other stuff. And let's pull the stream back up. Is your logo... So my my logo was actually created well before I really got into the Digimon community scene. I would liked Digimon back then, but now my logo came about because I was sitting in class one day, and I actually think it was history, 11th grade. So this would be circa 2006, somewhere around there. Either 2005, no, yeah, 2006, around that year. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I really like Zelda, right? I very much like The Legend of Zelda, and I'm like, all right, I need to. I was drawing Triforces everywhere, and I'm like, man, Triforce is really easy to draw. I wonder if I can like make myself something that would be easy to draw. And so like I landed on an H for Humulos, and I just was like, let's put circles in it, and there we go. That's how I made that. And it was I don't have big long backstories to a lot of the stuff I have. Like the name Humulos is just because one day I was playing old Nintendo Monopoly with my sister, and I typed in the name Humulos because that's your name, right? You gotta enter your name. So I entered Humulos, and I don't know why. It's just literally the first thing that popped in my head. And I won that game of Monopoly, got the orange properties, and so the name kind of stuck with me after that. Like, I felt like it was good luck. More importantly, no one online used it because it wasn't a real word. So it's like, perfect. Easy. Easy peasy. Oh, you're going to complete your Digidex. Very nice. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to do today. We're going to do a few things. Let me bring up the Trello board here. All right, and actually I don't really need to because it's all basically part of the same thing, right? So Pendulum Z, people are getting theirs this week from Premium Bandai. Some already have, some it's coming in, some it's in the mail. So we got to get this done, right? And the good news is that if I look at my various tabs for the sheet, that I've actually got it a lot of the way done. So the only things missing are a few of the Ultimate Stage Digimon. So for example, Shikaomon here, I have not finished up. And then on Metal Empire, we still need Dino Beamon, Ancient Wisemon, and it's not like I don't know what those will evolve into, right? Like Dino Beamon, okay, that's going to become friggin' Grand Quagamon, and this is going to become, well, it already becomes Slosh Angemon, but I haven't finished it up. Then down here, we only need to test Ancient Troyamon, who definitely will become Lucemon Satan Mode, and Sutsemon, which will definitely become Funglongmon. So I don't have a lot more to test on that, but more importantly, I do need to make this information available on the website for people to see. So I'm going to keep testing those. I might do a few tests tonight, but more importantly, we got to get this onto the website itself. Now, before anything else, someone alerted me today to something that wasn't showing up right on the website, and I should have that over here in my Discord inbox. Should have added it to the Trello board, but I wasn't thinking. There it is. RQ, of course, he's very good at reminding me to do things. Alright, so it was Rise Greymon is messed up somewhere, so let's see. Let's find Rise Greymon. Okay, so right now we have it turning into Shine Greymon and Qinglongmon, but it's supposed to also become Ancient Greymon? Yes, with a vaccine free or perfect, it should become that. So Rise Greymon, currently I've got these two guys merged together. So Qinglongmon should not be vaccine or free, that should be Ancient Greymon. Qinglongmon should be with a virus or Ada. So let's pull up the whatchamacallit here, the databases, and let's see, do I already have one? Yeah, here we go, that's what I want. So let's pull up the evolution table, and we are looking for Rise, and what will be the case is that we basically just have a number duplicated. So we have 3 instances of Rise, let's sort by that, and 1, 1, 0. So there's the problem. I should only have 1 of each number. So that means you need to be changed into a 2. We hit apply. And that problem should now be solved. Refresh to make sure. And sure enough, now it shows up both Ancient Greymon and Qinglongmon. So you can see that Rise is showing up on that end as well. And Rise is showing up there. Okay, good. Those guys are all set. Really don't understand why people tell me that. So the main glitch with the Pen 20 is just the fact that it can delete save data pretty easily, which is obviously a big glitch. But for the most part, it can be avoided by being careful and making sure to reset the device before you take batteries out. It doesn't like it when there's a sudden, unexpected loss of power, and so that's one real good thing to do whenever you take the batteries out, is just make sure to reset the device first. I do that with all my devices now, just out of habit, but That's the one where it really matters, is on the Pen 20. And it doesn't happen every time either, it's just some of the times it will happen. Alright, so we got that done. So what we need to do is, we were working last week on some of the, what is this one called? Later Index, yep. We're working on the Wind Guardians. We should already have the first bit of those done. Yeah, we sure do. So we have the divs containing the requirements set up for all of the perfects now. So we'll need to go and do more of that. And then we also need to apply updates for all of the Digimon that we have tested new requirements for, which are quite a few of them. So let's start with that one. Let's go to the update list. Hopefully I have been marking these as I have been going properly. I will forget. At the end of this, once I actually have like everything in the database, I go back and do one more nice big check. How do I get dirt off the Pen Z without damaging the pixel pattern? A light amount of isopropyl will do the trick. I use that on my devices. In fact, I've got it right up here. Just a little bit of this stuff will do it real well. So I just take, let's see, so I'll just throw that right up there. Let me make that bigger so you can actually see what I'm doing over here. And bigger. So I actually just have a couple swabs. Camera doesn't want me to open this and get the swabs out, but I need to get the swabs camera. That done. It's currently blocking a drawer. No, that's not the swabs. Swabs are below that. Yeah, there they go. Got it. Okay. Okay, so one of these little guys right here, right? Just a nice little swab. And it's not going to focus real well, but I just take the, let me zoom out. Alright, so I just take the isopropyl. And this is 99% isopropyl alcohol. Nice and fast drying. Doesn't leave barely any wetness afterwards, and wetness is there. Dries up immediately afterwards. So I just do this very lightly, right? And that's it. Boom. You're not going to damage it with just a small amount of that. It'll be okay. So I wouldn't recommend pressing too hard on it, because if you start like being abrasive with it, then it can cause a problem. But as long as you're just doing a nice little light coat of it, then you're pretty much good to go. That's what I do. If you've got bigger stains than that, I would recommend just like scrubbing them with just a microfiber cloth. I wouldn't recommend scrubbing hard with alcohol, but I mean, I'm not too sure of what that might do, but I don't want to find out. Alright, let's get Lady Digimon back up there. There we go. Okay. Can't wait for the English DMX. Me neither. It's gonna be freaking great. Are you gonna make a video about the mini cross? Yes, I am. Well, about the mini cross, yes. Not the cross loader. I'm not doing any more videos about Digivices, including the cross loader, just virtual pets. When Guardian's pendulum counter doesn't work, is there a way to fix it? Define what you mean by doesn't work, because it's they're very finicky with the way that they go. It's just an accelerometer though, so if it's broken, there's not really much you can do, but changing the battery is always a good place to start if it's not responding for you. Alright, so these are the updates that we have to apply in the database. So let's see, we go like this. There we go. Put that up there. And we'll put this down here. Oops, I just got rid of it entirely instead. There we go. Expand that out. We don't need that down there. We just need this stuff. In training, I can't get any arrows at all. Yeah, if you're not getting any arrows, you might want to try changing out the battery. Just see if that helps it out. There's not like a physical clacker that's doing anything. There is a physical clacker, but it doesn't actually do anything for you. It just kind of goes up and down and pretends like it's doing something. Alright, so we have evolutions. We have Hawkmon. Let's repull this. Hawk. Okay, so Hawk into Aquila. We have that as 0 to 1 and 2 to 4 now. So 0 to 1 and 2 to 4. Effort, check. Hawkmon and Cockatry, we have that as 3 plus with 4, but now we know it is 2 plus. Gabumon. Gabumon, is that the one that's weird in this one? I think it is. So Gabumon is... No, it's Wolfmon is. Okay, 0 to 1 and full effort and 50 victories is Gabumon Yuda no Kizuna. Gabumon into Garummon. We have that as 0 to 1, 0 to 2. Gabumon into... It's so hard to look at these two names next to each other. 0 to 1, 0 to 2, or just 2+ in general. There's actually one more. No, it's Garurumon that has one more. That's right. Garurumon's a little bit different on this one. So it is... Yeah, we got to split that out a little bit, because surprisingly, it's not exactly the same as the requirements for Agumon to get Greymon. Gabumon and Garurumon is a little bit more lenient, but Gabumon Yuja no Kizuna is not more lenient, so I've got to do 2 requirements for that. So ampersand BULL semicolon for the bowl, and we're just going to put that there. So it can become Garurumon if I have 0 to 1 care mistakes, or, well, 0 to 1 care mistakes, and 3 effort, and then nothing else matters with that. We should put that one up top, yeah? Yeah, we'll put that one up top. So 4 effort and 0 to 49. Or it can be 0 to 1 care mistakes and 3 effort with no battle conditions. Now that's pretty weird. Even if you get 3 effort for Gabumon Yuja no Kizuna and 50 victories, like, it won't work. It has to be 4 effort. But Garurumon is more lenient, which is very strange, but it's only strange because I'm just used to it being the other way, I guess. Okay, so Garurumon and Garummon, we are good with both of those now. Okay, Wolfmon. What's up, Avatario? Nice to see you. How do I kill Baby Digi? Get it to lose a lot of battles, or if it's a Pendulum or Digital Monster X, then get it fat, feed it up to 99 gigabytes, and then it'll get sick, heal it, lose weight, fill it back up again, and keep doing that until it dies. 20 injuries, 20 sicknesses, that'll kill it. Okay, Wolf. Into Garummon. Okay, yeah, this one was annoying, because it's 1 to 4 on everything except, or both of them except for, which one is it not 1 to 4 on? Is that on Virus Busters? Let's double check that real quick. Wolfmon, yeah, it's 2 to 4 on Virus Busters. Another pattern break. So Wolfmon to Garummon. Let's actually search for Garum. There he is. So it's 0 to 1. No, 0 to 2. 0 to 2 care mistakes. And 1 to 4 effort. Sample, semicolon. We need to designate that that is for Wind Guardians Z and Metal Empire Z. And then line break, new bullet, space, and then the other one would be 0 to 2 care mistakes, 2 to 4 effort. Although, you know what, a better way of representing that is like this. We're gonna do this one first. And we're gonna come over here. Okay, so 0 to 2 care mistakes, and we're gonna add 1 effort for Wind Guardians. Okay, so this way, we know the first one, 0 to 2 care mistakes and 2 to 4 effort, works on all 3. So there's no need to designate which version. And then now we know if it's on Wind Guardians or Metal Empire, that 1 effort will also work. Alright, good. Done with that. Does sleep call count as a care mistake? If you don't put it to bed in time, yes it does. Once the call light goes out, it becomes a care mistake. Okay, Gabumon to Garurumon. Garurumon. There we go. 0 to 1. I already did this. Yeah, 0 to 1, 3 to 4. Already did that. Great. Done with that. Okay, Tinkermon to Parasarmon. 2+ and 3 to 4 effort. Wolfmon to Parasaurmon. Would be 0 to 2 and 0. Hawkmon to Peckmon. Who's beeping at me? Don't need you to do that right now. You get out of here. No, it's just a test subject. Do not worry. Okay, Hawkmon to Peckmon. 0 to 1, 0 to 1. Tinkermon to Vegemon. I haven't been marking these as done. Tinkermon to Vegemon, 2 and 0 to 2. Done with that. Okay, and that's all the child stage Digimon on the Wind Guardians. So we'll commit those real quick. And repull. May I ask what you're doing right now? Of course. Right now I am updating the website with new information that I've tested over the course of the week. So everything in the top section right here is a requirement that I need to update. So for example, Parasarmon to Teropiamon. If I'm to go to the evolution guide right now and I'm to click on Parasarmon, so you can see that the requirement in Teropiamon, I have that listed as 0 cure mistakes and level 5 to 6. So in my testing this past week, I have been able to determine 0 to 1 care mistakes will also work. So I go into the database right here, and I just update all the cases that need to be updated. So Parasar into Teropiamon, you can see that right here, and I type in what the actual requirement needs to be. So as I do these and as I submit them, then the actual website will update as I do that to show you whatever thing I just did. So if I hit apply right now, refresh the page, we'll click on Parasarmon again and scroll down, and there we go. Now it says 0 to 1, level 5 to 6. And so that's what I need to do. I got to make sure that everything on here is up to date. So I'll probably do a few additional tests on these devices as well while I'm here once I run out of these things to update, because I do got to find just a few more things. Alright, so Peckmon to Yatagaramon is very lenient. 0 to 2 and 4 to 6. We already have that. Didn't need to do that one. Aquilamon to Yatagaramon. Aquila to Yatagara is 0 to 2, 4 to 6, also very lenient, which is good, because that matches what Peckmon's is, then that saves me a little bit of room when I'm adding the visual end of the requirements. Hippogriffo into Ornismon. Allows for 0 to 2, but no leniency on level. Has to be level 8. That one is fully tested at this point. Parrotmon into Ravemon. Parrotmon into... There you are. No. Where? Oh, I don't actually have that one in here at all yet. Okay, great. So, Parrotmon, Penzi, Wind Guardian Z, Evolution 0. We will update that other ones in a moment. And Parrotmon into... Where did you go? There you are. 0 to 2 care mistakes. Level 8. And that will get us to... Ravemon. Ravemon. Yep. Okay. And then now what I need to do though is I need to see. So Parrotmon previously had 0 for that. So 1, 2, because none of these numbers can match. 0, 1, 2. That's right. And Ravemon probably won't keep that one as 0, but I will make it 1. So 1 and then 2. That just determines what the order of the evolutions that are here are. So Teropiamon, for example, would be 0, 1, 2. In order for Parasarmon's evolution column, or Evo number column, if I want to be specific. Okay, so then we got Parrotmon added in there. Who now? Who's doing the... Oh, it's Lady Demimon. We need to take care of Lady Digimon. Look at that. She needs a lot of stuff. So we're going to go ahead and give her a big old honking piece of meat. There you go. We'll do a quick training session. I don't think I've leveled her up at all. Let's do an Excite training. And... a little early. Hard to do that over the camera. Alright, you do your thing. We'll probably do it in one more training session. Okay, so anyway. Parrot to Rave, done. Sylphie to Valkyrie. I think I actually just finished that one up. Just moments ago. Sylphie into Valkyriemon. 0 to 2, 6 to 8. Already had that in here? Oh, no, that's a... oh, yeah, because it's on both devices. So good, it matches what it is on the other one. Great. Nothing I need to do there, then. Entmon to Shenwumon. Ent to... oh, there's a lot of Ents. Okay. Entmon into Shenwumon. We have 0 to 1 and 6 to 8. Shenwu to Fonglong. Would be the classic. It's always 0 to 2 and 8 to 10 for Ultimate and Super Ultimate. Still got to test both, but it's always what it is. What is this? We have another Wolfmon over here? I don't need that. Okay, so now we are hitting up Metal Empire. So let's just go ahead and commit these changes we just made. Apply them. Pull the information down again. You are very welcome for the guides. I'm glad, I'm enjoying sharing the making process with everybody. Makes it more social, more fun. Because it can get very monotonous sometimes for me to just do it. Still do it. it's not entirely, it's not that I don't like doing it, it's just every now and then I'm like, I don't feel up to it sometimes. It's partially because, you know, I do, unfortunately, have a well, not unfortunately, I have a full-time job. It's just unfortunate that something like this can't be my full-time job. Not necessarily making guides, but something VPET related. I would love to be working in the realm of VPETs in some official capacity. It'd be a ton of fun. Alright, Jaws at a commando. But for now, since I do have a full-time job that is supplying me with the money I need to eat and live otherwise, I get home and, well, I get home as if I travel these days. No, I work from home now. And it's just like the last thing I want to do is more coding of some variety. Alright, so 0 to 2, and that for Commandomon. Junkmon into Commandomon as well. Everything becomes Commandomon. Okay, Junk into Commando can be done with 0 to 1 and 3 to 4. I'm surprised they didn't make Junkmon become Machmon as his best care, but I get it. I get it. Alright, Vmon. Also into Commandomon. So I have this sorted by the guy on the right. Maybe that's how I should be doing this. I shouldn't be doing it by the one on the left. I should be doing it by the one on the right. That's totally how I have this sorted. What's wrong with me? I'm going about this in such an inefficient way. Alright, Vmon into Commandomon. 0 to 1, 0 to 1. There we go. Jazamon into Machmon. And this time we'll search for Mach because that's how I should be doing it. Machmon. 0 to 2, 0 to 3. Quite a range. 2 for Minotaurmon. I should probably sort this by Evo name then, if that's the way I'm doing this. That would make things easier. Alright, oh, those are both Junkmon? Okay. Junkmon 0 to 1, 0 to 2. Or 2+. And 2 to 4 effort. You're very likely going to get Minotaurmon if you are raising Junkmon, it seems. Okay, Raremon. From Junkmon. 2, 0 to 1. Okay. Vmon to XVmon. I don't even have it on here yet. That's right. I hadn't actually tested that out yet. Obviously, that was always going to be known. That's what would happen, but I never actually tested it. I can't assume anything, unfortunately, as I've been noticing while doing these. There's a lot of assumptions that I thought would work one way, but haven't. Not a lot, but enough. Like even like 4. I think, yeah, there's probably like 4 big unexpected things that were enough to change how I had to test something. Alright, so Vmon, this would be Vmon's top care. So that's his 0 slot. So 0 to 1 care mistakes and 2 to 4 effort. That gives us XV, XVmon, and that would be yours. Number 1 over there would be Wolfmon now. Wolfmon, we have 0 to 2 and 0. And then that means we also need to update Vmon's numbering. That makes this 2, and that makes his other one. Where's his other one? There it is. 1. Okay. Let's go ahead and apply that. There we go. Just got to kill his mon on Idle Bracelet. Very nice. Have I reached? No, I haven't actually reached the final form on my Vital Bracelet at all. And that's there's a lot of reasons for that. Most of them have to deal with the Digimon I was going to have reached that stage be cursed. Unfortunately, I have a cursed Digimon, whether I like it or not, so I'm unable to send it into the app. And because I'm unable to send it in the app, it's just caused some problems with me. Partially because I wanted to test stuff with it, and I couldn't test stuff with it, and yeah, that's a long story that I'm not going to get into right now. But one way that I actually have my Vital Bracelet right here. It is still on my desk. It's just I haven't been using it a whole lot because I like my watch better. This is my watch. I'm not wearing it right now because I'm at the computer desk, but overall I like my watch better than I like my Vital Bracelet. But it's I still plan on doing some other stuff with it just to test it out. But nice Blastoise. Thank you. I won him from Six Flags when I was but a wee lad. The DMX is pretty worn. Yes, unfortunately, like I do take great care of my devices. Like you may see, it's attached to its case right there. It's always in its case, but the Gold X on the red version, unfortunately, just comes right off. Like it's really obnoxious. Apparently, it's because the buttons, the black buttons here, like this kind of like go off onto it. So the X itself might not be coming off. It's just being gunked up. You can see like what's left behind is black, which if it was just rubbing off, you'd expect it to be red left behind. But yeah, I hope the English versions do not have that problem. None of the other X's really did. My purple's fine, and that's the same wave. And then the gold on the blue version is also fine. So I don't know. I really don't know what's wrong with it. But all right, next set here we have Strike Dramon and going into Cyber Dramon. So let's. Oh yeah, we're gonna do an order by. Okay, so order by Evo name, please. And yeah, pull it. Okay, that should make it a little bit smoother for doing this. So Cyberdra. 2 of them. Cyberdra from Strike-Dra. We need to do this as... Oops. Didn't click right. There we go. 0 to 2 and 4 to 6. Mach to Rebella, or Maha, as they call him in the anime. I was interested, because I saw that the katakana for that translated like directly as Maha, when I'm like, huh. It's probably just like Google Translate doesn't know what it's doing. But nah, they actually said Maha in the anime. Or like, at least that's what it sounded like to my ears. Because like, it could have been like Maha. That's Yiddish. No, it's definitely not Yach. But Maha, I don't know. But it sounds like Maha, basically, is what they're saying. But it's definitely supposed to be Mach. Like, that's the intended word. There's some fun things like that. Like with Arukenimon, for example. Like, it's definitely Arachnimon. But they would pronounce Arachne in Japan as Arukeni. So it makes sense, but... okay, so... Rebella. From... Oh, I don't even have that in here at all. Another new one. Great. So, Machmon, Penzi, Memzi, Evolution 0. Machmon with 0 to 2 care mistakes. And level 4 to 6. Becomes Rebellamon We'll make that probably his primary one. We'll double check though. So if I bring up, oh, that's the only thing I had for Rebella? That can't be right. Oh, it's also because I misspelled Rebella, so that's a problem. And he is already there. So no, I don't need to add this. Get this out of here. I just can't spell. How did it come up for the other one? Because I spelled Rebellamon horribly wrong over here. That's why. There we go. Okay. So let's try that again, shall we? Rebella. That's more like it. Alright, so Machmon's already on here. So that would be 0 to 2, 4 to 6 now. Grand Locomon. Look at all those things it can come from. Okay, Locomon 0 to 2, and where did it go? 7, 8. Already got 7, 8 portion in there, so that's good. Rebellamon to Gundramon. Could have updated that while I was there, but I didn't. 0 to 1, 6 to 8. Done with that. Loader Leo into Heavy Leo. 0 to 2 and 8. Pyldra to... This one's bugging me. This one's really bugging me. So, on the Wave 1 device... I hate this. I really hate this. But on the Wave 1 device, Pyldramon would become Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode with 0 to 2 care mistakes and level 8. And I just tested this twice to be certain on my Metal Empire here, but annoyingly, he does not allow for 2 care mistakes. Oh, that was thunder. Hopefully this stays up. Anyway, this doesn't allow for 2 care mistakes for Pyldramon, which is dumb. I don't know why it wouldn't be the same requirement between both waves, but oh well. So I still gotta do more testing with that, but for now we can mark that off as done. Justimon. Some Cyberdramon. My nose is real itchy tonight. I wonder why. It's for a stupid mustache. I probably got something in there. Tell you, worst thing about having a mustache is that if you go a few days without shaving it, then it, like, one of the hairs will like get really long and go up and start poking your nose, and it's like so obnoxious. Don't grow a mustache, everybody. That just don't. They suck. There's nothing good about them. But my wife really likes me to have a mustache, and said that means I will have a mustache, but I hate it. I hate it so much. All right, so we are good with Metal Empire with that one, it looks like. So let's go ahead and apply that. There we go. Pull down again, start up Fire Spusters. Thought the X was coming off. It does look like the one way or the other. The X is either coming off or being covered up. It looks disgusting either way. that's the case. Speaking of which, we need to give Lady Devimon another training real quick. We only gave her the one, so she's not at full. Alright, camera. Let's see if I can do this through you this time. I also need to level her up a bit. Okay, I missed again. The opposite way that time. Oh well. Alright. Got my DM20 finally. Congratulations! You got a Greymon. That means you're taking good care of it. I'm glad they're doing nice groovy colors. I am too. I am all the way here for stupid looking colors. Like, it's... I just like it. I've got plenty of devices that look normal. I want devices that look insane. That look like an old Trapper Keeper. Wonder if I still have any of my old Trapper Keepers. Probably not. Not at this point. They all had like cartoon characters from the early 90s on them. Good stuff. Can I ask why Bug and Aquatic Digimon are your favorites? Is there a reason beyond just preference? Like anything, personal experience, or anything you feel comfy sharing? Anyway, I feel comfy sharing almost everything as a heads up. I am a very open book. So if you have a question, I will answer it, basically. I think the only things that I might not answer are like a little bit of like, I don't know. No, I won't even get into it. I'll answer just about anything. And if you come up with something I won't answer, then I'll tell you. But no, when it comes to Aquatic and Bug Digimon, so Aquatic is easy. Like, that's just my, like, water is my element, man. That's like my thing all the way around. I really, ever since I was a kid, have loved it a lot. And I currently live near a beach and near wetlands and near rivers and near lakes because of how much I like water. That's why I live in Florida. Is that there are definitely like cheaper places to live, I will say, which makes things difficult. But I really love being able to like just go to the water, and like I'm just fascinated about the stuff under it. Like I really am. Like I love to go out and just see what's swimming around, and turtles being my favorite thing to find swimming around, and Blastoise over there being one of my favorite Pokemon. Wartortle being my true favorite. But I love like going out and finding turtles. I love feeding turtles. I love going in the ocean and just putting on a mask and seeing what kind of fish are out. And I love seeing alligators swimming around. I love seeing birds of the water variety just swooping in the water, and aningas especially. If you've never seen an aningas are some of the coolest dang birds around. I gotta show you a picture of what an aninga is, because they are just flipping fantastic. I think that's how you spell it. Yeah, these guys. Oh my gosh, I love these guys so much. They're such cool birds. You'll see them on the sides of lakes down here, like with their wings all spread out, drying them off. Kind of like, yeah, like this guy right here. They're just fascinating creatures because like they fly around, but they swim like real good. You'll see their heads pop up. Oh, like this. Yeah, you'll see them, their heads pop, and they'll have a fish stuck on their beak because they just swim around until they catch a fish. They're fascinating. I love them. But yeah, so that's like where aquatic stuff comes from. Like that's just been my thing forever. I used to ride my bike. I lived in a Air Force base as a kid, and I used to ride my bike down to this lake because my parents like weren't worried about it. Right? It was an Air Force base. It was a super safe place to live. It was fantastic. And so, 6 or 7 year old me is just hopping on my bike, going to the lake, and seeing what's there, and it's just yeah, grew up loving that kind of thing. As for bugs, I've definitely always liked bugs, but I don't like love bugs in real life. Like I definitely think they're really cool a lot of time, but I think a lot of it has to just do with the way that Digimon designs bugs, especially like Okuamon. Like it's armored basically. It's like it's this cool, like it's almost mechanical in a way, but it's still a bug, right? It's hard to describe exactly what it is I love about them specifically, but the way that Digimon designs bugs, I just really, something about it really appeals to me. I like it in other places too, like beetles, honestly. Like the whole Kabuto Kuwakata thing, like I'm a big fan of that kind of thing. Like I love when I see it in any kind of media, like Metabots, for example. Then, yeah, so there you go. That's where those come from. It's just, there's not really too much to it, but yeah, water's always been a big part of my life, and it's, I love things that dwell in it. Can't decide if I should get a 4th 20th or suck it up and wait for the... Well, listen, every single 20th is about the same as the last 20th. So if you've got a few, you're good, unless you really like another color. If you can wait for wait for the X to come out, because the X is going to be a real different experience. Or beard hair in your mouth. That's been my least favorite part of the COVID grow. Yeah, thankfully I don't have that one too much, because I don't have, like, obviously as you can see, my beard ain't huge. Like, it's just this little goatee thing going on here. And that's all I want it to be. And it's also kind of all my face will let it be. I can't grow hair out here very well. Yeah, but so thankfully I don't get it in my mouth too much. I get stuff in it though all the time. I'll get like pieces of cheese stuck in there when it's like real melty. I'll like be eating pasta or something, and I'll have like a melty piece of cheese, and it'll just like catch on my beard and get stuck there for a while. I'm gonna go wash it out, but yeah. Blastoise plushie speaks volumes on the statement. Absolutely it does. Water Pokemon and a turtle. It's the best of both worlds. I also really like Kamemon. I love Okelamon. Zudomon being my favorite Digimon, which here he is right over here, is absolutely because A, he's aquatic, and B, he has a turtle shell on him. And he's just cool. He's just a cool design. So that's something that speaks to that. For the weeks. Hello. Oh, hey, Mega. How you doing? I haven't talked to you directly in a while. I hope you're doing okay. Nice to see you, man. Quagamon commentary among the standouts. Absolutely, they were. Casino forms doesn't matter if you go over 50 wins. No, you're good. It's just a threshold. You can go over it. Do I say more than 50 on here? Let's make sure I say that, because that's an important detail to get right. Yeah, I don't say plus. There we go. Look at that. Who was that said that? Julian. Thank you. We're adding that right now. Plus signs so that is more clear, because that did stand to be clear. Boom. Love Subnautica, but I hate everything under the water. It makes my body cringe. Man, I've seen a lot of cool stuff under the water, man. Like, oh, there was this one spot. I was walking this dude's dog, and there was a spot where we'd go by a creek with a little bridge over it, and that spot at night had some of the coolest stuff in it. I'd take a flashlight, and it was shallow enough to where when you shine the flashlight, you could see everything under the water absolutely clearly. There was a common snapping turtle under there. There were 2 garfish. There were several other types of turtles, all in just this one little spot. And it was just fascinating. I loved that spot so much. It was like, I went over there even when I wasn't walking this guy's dog. I went over to his neighborhood just to go look at that creek sometimes. Drinking coffee. Yeah, drinking a lot of things definitely gets caught up there. Battle Bracelet going through Black Roar now. I truly think feet pets are more fun. I agree. But the Vital Bracelet's got a lot of value to it. Like, it's not really my thing, I wouldn't say. But it's still great. Like, I still think it's a really good expansion in the way that Bandai is approaching Digimon electronics. And it makes sense. People have been clamoring for, myself included, have been clamoring for a Digimon on the wrist for years. And I even went so far as to try to... Actually, can I show you that? Let's see. Let's see if I can actually show you this. Let me turn on my watch. I can show you what little work I've done on a watch face. But I'll come back to that one because that'll take me a second to get to. All right, so we need to do Virus Busters. Let me get back on track. I took a long detour there, didn't I? Hopefully it was interesting. All right, so I don't remember if I fetched this again. Let's just fetch it again one more time just to be sure. Okay, and all right, so we have Angemon is up first. I always say Angemon, right? So I am toying around with the idea of changing a bunch of Digimon names on my website, which is not an idea I'm thrilled about, but very recently Wikimon changed a few of the names that they're using, and most of my names on my website, except for one, come from Wikimon. The one that it doesn't is Ogremon, because on Wikimon it's spelled as O-R-G-E, so Orgamon, and that's clearly not the intention. And so it's similar to Digimon like Piccolomon, which is translated directly as Picklemon in the reference book. So for the most part, Wikimon uses what's in the reference book. Sometimes they don't. And with this last change, it had me thinking of, like, if they're going to change things every now and then, why shouldn't I just, like, do what I believe the intention should be? Like, make up my own rule set, right? I don't want it to be a complete free-for-all, but I want it to be at least more clear. And so part of that, I'm looking into pronunciations of the Digimon names. And so a lot of times, like, I pronounce them as if they're a Japanese word, even when they're not. So it should be Angemon is the way it's supposed to be pronounced, as in angel, not Angemon, as I keep saying. It's Angemon, and I got to get used to that because it's supposed to be pronounced that way. I did it. Raremon's another one. It is pronounced Raremon. It's not Raremon. And so I'm trying to get better at pronouncing Digimon names and making sure I'm using the intended language when I do it, because it's not always supposed to be that way. Now, sometimes the pronunciations are, like, again, Arukenimon. I'm not going to say Arukenimon because that's not its name. Its intention is to be Arachne, which is from Greek myth or whatever. The first spider? Is that what she is? Shelob? So I will say Arachnimon. I won't, and that's currently translated as Archnimon, which also looks really bad. So I kind of want to clean that up, but that's not an immediate project. That's going to be a very much work in progress type of thing. So we'll see where that goes. But I think it would be helpful, especially for people to know how to properly pronounce things, to have them, like, written the way that they should be written in most cases. So, like, Marine Angemon instead of Marin Angemon. It's supposed to be Marine, right? Like, whatever the reference book says, you pronounce it Marine. All right, Guillemon, 2 Bellucimon, 0 to 1, 0 to 2. That's correct. And 2 plus and 4 effort. Needs the full 4, huh? And that's not. I also want to make sure, you know, I'm not trying to, like, rag on Wikimon or anything. They have the rules that they follow. They do it. I think they got them from Meg-chan. Is what they're all based off of. If anyone remembers who Meg-chan is. But yeah, it's like, well, if they're not going to be, like, if they're not either being 100% reference book or 100% intention, then I feel like I've got room to wiggle as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be wiggling. There's certainly not going to be any Eero Vidramon on my website. Absolutely not. That's just dumb. Part of the problem, too, is that apparently Bandai is using an outdated method of romanization, which I only found out about recently. And that's why you saw a problem like Kazuchimon being translated as Kaduchimon, because it used an old romanization that doesn't really get used these days. But outside of that, you'd only really care about that outside of Japan. Inside Japan, they don't really care as much, I don't think, because it's like they're not going to be using the romanization anyway. Geo Gray. And 2 and 0 to 3. 2 plus, 0 to 3. Done there, and then Grammon. 0 to 1, and 4, 0 to 1, 3 to 4. Yeah, after I do all of the ultimate stages, I'm going to need to go back and do the child stages without the connections unlocked. That'll be the last thing I do as far as gathering requirements. Okay, Mimicmon. Vital Bracelet's what got me into V-Pets. That's one of the best things I've seen about the Vital Bracelet, is just that it's opening up V-Pets to a huge world of people. Even if all you do is the Vital Bracelet, it's still a V-Pet. It's still getting into them, and I think that's great. Like, not many people of just the standard Digimon fandom, when, like, most of the fandom, it's like, number one thing, Digimon Adventure, right? That's the biggest thing. Number two thing would be the video games, and I'd especially say, like, Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. Those two have been wildly successful at bringing in new fans and delighting old ones. So that's like where the big things come from. And so for those fans that are more used to just the video games and the anime, to see something in the V-Pets realm and be like, yeah, I want that. That's fascinating. That's just fantastic to me. Like, I love that. I love that is happening. That Bandai was able to find a product that really appealed to more people, because these little, as much as I love these guys, they're not flashy. You don't look at that and be like, wow, that's amazing. Maybe back in 1997 when I first saw one, I'm sure I thought it was amazing, but yeah, it's not to the average consumer for sure. So I do like that the Vital Bracelet's opening up, and if people all that gets the Vital Bracelet, then great, whatever. They still had fun with that, and I'm very happy about that. But if they decide they want to check out more V-Pet stuff, then man, even better. It's been fun mingling with new types of people too, because like we're very used to the V-Pet owners that have been there for over the years, like in the community. It's like the people who have been enthusiasts for a long time and have like can tell you all about the days when nothing was being released in America or anywhere else for that matter. So it's nice to see like new types of people coming in that aren't like super V-Pet enthusiasts necessarily, which the same thing happened a little bit with the DM20, which that one baffles me. I'm surprised a lot of people, as that was as successful as it was outside Japan. And it baffles me in a really good way. But Vital Bracelet, like, holy cow, I made a video for that. That video like shot up in views immediately. Like, most of my videos don't get like a huge amount of views on them, but that one, like, I think it hit like 64,000 easy, like, which is insane to me. And it's not because of anything I did, it's just because people were very thirsty to find out more about it, and I just happened to put out a video immediately, and my channel is reasonably large in the Digimon community, so it's like, which is funny because I've only got 5,000 subscribers on that channel. That's reasonably large in this community. 0 to 1, 0 to 3. And so it's just like, because it was there, a lot of people saw it, and I was blown away. I'm like, holy cow. Like, people are interested in this. That's fantastic. I was so excited when I saw that. Not because I got views. Listen, with Digimon stuff, I can tell you right now, I do not do Digimon stuff for the views on YouTube. I do Zelda stuff for the views. My Zelda videos have like millions of views on them, and it's like, that's the stuff I actually will expect, that kind of thing. Like, well, not expect. Those were kind of flukes, but it's I would say if anything were to get more popular, I would say those would be the types of things. So Digimon stuff, I just put it out there so that the information's out there. That's what I care about, is I want the information for Digimon stuff out there so that we get more people in the community. Because that's where it gets really fun, is you have people to share this with. And that's what it really feels like, right? I don't feel like I'm making videos for just an unknowing public. Like, I don't have a strong camaraderie with the people who comment on my Zelda videos, because it's just like, that's just a video in their feed passing by. But Digimon is much more of a community to me. So it's a lot of fun working with everybody. Alright, so Shoutmon's good. Duramon from Darkmon. We have 0 to 2, 4 to 6. Nice and easy. Angemon. From into Holy Angemon. Right, oh, there you are. Okay. 0 to 2, 6. What was that? Is that me? Is that a beep? Did I hear a beep? No, I didn't hear a beep. Might have been the music. You raise too many V-pets, you're always going to hear beeps. 4 to 6 for that. Yep. Good. Okay, Ancient Guru... No, yeah, Ancient Guru. Ancient Ga... Spelled Ancient wrong. Ancient Guru from Shoutmon Cross 5. 0 to 2, 7 to 8. Ancient Gray from Manticore. 0 to 2, 7 to 8. I actually really need to make another Zelda video at some point. I've got an idea for one, I just haven't like put myself down to do it because I'm mostly focusing on this stuff. I gotta do it fast because you know, once Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, then my idea is gonna be over. Like, I won't have anything to do with it. Oh man. To Duke. 0 to 1. I actually was really surprised that someone on one of my videos on the Zelda variety did ask if I was still making videos, and I'm like, oh my gosh, people actually pay attention to that, because my major videos aren't the type of videos that you have subscribers for. They're the type of videos that like people, they show up in your home homepage on YouTube randomly, and you're like, yeah, sure, I'll click on that and see what happens. So it's surprising to me when I saw someone like actually ask, and I'm like, you know what, you're right, I do need to make another video. 0 to 2 and 8. But I also at the same time feel like there's plenty of people making Zelda videos on YouTube. Which those videos, by the way, are part of what funds my VPET hobby. I'm very fortunate in that way that like I'm able to get stuff to do these videos for VPET stuff with. I'm able to get it from the funds I get from my other videos, which is it's fantastic. Like, it really is. I'm very fortunate in that way that I can keep just doing this without making too much of a loss. Digimon to Seraphimon. Time is another story. That was the beep. That was definitely part of the song. Rise Gray. No, from the right. Shine Gray. Okay. Where did I type that? Where did I type that? Where did I type that? Hopefully nowhere I shouldn't have. Let's just double check. Let's look back at Seraphi real quick. I didn't type that over anything there. No. Okay. 0 to 2 and 8 for Rise Gray. Almost to the end of the list. Look at this. Only 2 more to go. Long from Xinglongmon. Speaking of the naming conventions, those are ones I can't change because they're using Romanized Chinese, and I hate Romanized Chinese so much, but it is the more accurate way to portray these. Romanized Chinese is one of the most missed opportunities. It's like, you had a chance, right, to just translate it into easy to read things, but instead you're like, what if Q equaled CH? Why'd you do that? You could have made it anything. You could have just made it CH, but you chose instead to go that way. So I don't know what was happening there. Let's turn off my phone. I don't know what's going on with that. It's like, I get it. Like, obviously Chinese does not translate perfectly into English, but there are better letters than CH to use, or than Q to use for a CH sound. All right, last one. Lucemon Satan Mode from Ancient Garurumon. Why are there only 3? That's still not. There's still ones I haven't. That's right. I haven't tested the ones on. I haven't tested Ancient Troyamon, and I haven't tested Ancient Wisemon yet because they didn't really come up much. All right, good with that. Hitting apply. Send it away. Let's catch up on the comments. Well, you guys have been talking up a storm over here. Want to get a pen? They look amazing. They do. I'm not gonna lie. I love these guys. Look at this beautiful. Sorry, Lady Devimon. Looking back to you. Look at this beautiful light blue. Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. Came out really well. The Deep Savers one's even better, but that's back in the drawers over there, so I don't want to go get it. So it's that is absolutely beautiful. One pen. I'll brace the cut me. I hated the idea of cleaning up virtual poop. That's what a lot of Digimon's about. It's about poop. That's why we have so many monsters about poop. Wish the Final Brace had more function. I do too. I think it's definitely a good first step, and I think the exercise focus is great. It's just like, I am working 8 hours a day. I can't be exercising during those 8 hours, and so I would like to be able to like have something to do during the time, other than just NFC battles that might lose me vital values. Excellent feature. Yeah, definitely. It is. You're right. It's definitely good for running alongside of something. I would definitely say that. Unless you're in the DM20. Yeah, DM20's poop is definitely that bad. Any of them give me a solid VMon line? If someone else has answered you, which they probably have, but this one right here, it gives you VMon's entire line, and it's also on the Pendulum 20. Which we could see that over here, by the way. If you ever want to know, like, which ones be on there, if we come over to the guide and we can see, okay, look, there's VMon, and he become. Well, I haven't. Let's refresh the page, huh? Now that I made all these updates. Refreshing the page. So VMon, and he can become XVMon, it can become Imperial Dramon, and that can become Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode, and that can become Imperial Dramon Paladin Mode, whose art I hate because it makes him really small, because of his big honking sword. And also he's really strong, which is insane. But that's just how that goes. Rare Mon is such a good creepy design. I do like it. I very much do like it. I just also... It's funny, because like Raremon had a good perfect level already for it, which was X-Tyrannomon. But obviously Raremon is more thematically appropriate. So now it's got like 2 good ones to choose from, and I like that. Metal Empire Z is a solid. Yeah, Josh answered the question there. Glad Digimon card game fixed translation of Ogramon's name. Listen, don't get me started on friggin' dub names, okay? So you'll notice those are not the default option here. That's for 2 reasons. I use the Japanese names because that's what these pets are. Pendulum Z is Japanese. Obviously, the Digital Monster version 20th is English now, but because the majority of them are in Japanese, and because I myself was VPet fan throughout the era where we didn't get VPets in the United States, I had to learn Japanese names in order to operate them, because that's what all the guides were written in. And so I know the Japanese names. The VPet community as a whole is very familiar with the Japanese names, and so that's what is going in here. Reason 2, English names are dumb sometimes. Because, again, I will call it back. Arukenimon, dumb name. That's not what you should call it. It's Arachnimon. And friggin' Valdermon is like, what, Verodumon? Because they're just basically transliterating the katakana sometimes. And that's not how you should do it. It's not. It should be localized. It should make sense. So, like, this is not Kakatorimon. It's Kakatrimon, as in a cockatrice. Or a cockatrice, however you want to pronounce it. But Kakatorimon loses that meaning. Like, it no longer sounds like what it is. This is a cockatrice. That's the point of it. It turns people to stone. It is not a Kakatori. Whatever the heck that is supposed to be. Although, interestingly, Tori does mean bird in Japanese. Wonder... Huh. What an odd coincidence, because that's definitely not... It's not meant to be Tori as in bird. It's... Huh, weird. Either way, so that's that. The dub names are kind of all over the place, and they changed a lot, too, over the years. Like, they're not super consistent. To be fair, neither is the Japanese one sometimes, but yeah, that's... I don't stick with those. And also, you run into problems, like in the card game, where you have to have an extra set of rules to say which Digimon whose name has Greymon in them are not actually Greymon. Because, like, Vritramon and Dorugoraemon are not Greymon. But, yeah, so that's fun. Oh, hi, Himi. How are you doing tonight? Still waiting on Digimon Survive. One day, probably. It'll come out one day, probably. We'll see. Oh, man. That's insane how little we've heard about that game. I get it being delayed, but we've heard very little. That and Metroid Prime 4. Where's my Metroid Prime 4? I don't expect them to release it right now. I just want to know what's going on with it. Are they still making it? At least just something. I have a pet peeve with video games as a whole in the industry where they're like, all right, let's announce this thing that we don't have anywhere near completion. And it's like, why did you announce it then? Because now all we're going to be doing is waiting for the next several years because you're going to have to delay it because it's impossible to set a reasonable release date over a year ahead of it. Like, it's absolutely impossible. Like, lately what Nintendo has been doing, I've loved, which obviously not with Metroid Prime 4 because they did that the way I don't like it. Where they just announce a game and it's like going to be ready in 5 months or less. And it's like, yeah, do that. Do that so there's like less of a chance for there to be a delay and that no one gets annoyed from all the waiting. Like, but you got to keep the hype cycle going, you know? Like, I get why they do it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. Just Terriermon, I can only find Silver Blue. Yeah, Terriermon, the regular type, is not easy to come across, especially with its full evolution line. So it's Pendulum 20 is what you're going to be working with there. Unless you like the X version, which bounces all around with things. So that goes Terriermon, Shishamon, wait, what comes after that? Omega Shoutmon, and then Rapidmon. It's a weird evolution line, but it's fun. Excuse me. Doom 20. Yeah, that's why I found out about you, because I was curious about Vital Bracelet stuff. Yeah, I figured as much. I figured that's why a lot of people came out about this, and which again, it's fantastic. I'm glad that that's been a big draw for virtual pets. Remember when I first found out about Digimon V Pets, I was quite upset when I realized they aren't getting released outside of Japan. Yes, it was very... That was how it was for me back in 2001, 2002, thereabouts, when I to this day have no idea what order it really came in, because like I got a Wonderswan to play Digital Monster version Wonderswan, but it's like, how did I know that existed? I have no idea. I was a stupid 11 or 12-year-old kid. How did I know to get that thing? Like, and it's not like we had the internet forums were like super big on that sort of thing back then, but somehow I got a Wonderswan, and that's when I found Bandai's website, and I'm pretty sure that's when I found out about the pendulums, but I could also be misremembering that and thinking it could have been like I found out about the pendulums and then somehow that led me to the Wonderswan. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% certain, but either way, when I found out about it, I'm like, why don't we have these here? What do you mean there were 5 versions of the Digital Monster? We only had 2. And I don't even think I knew we had 2, honestly. I think I only knew about the one. I didn't know Gabumon had one. And when I found out about them, like, I started convincing myself, oh, those must be for sale somewhere. Like, I could find a Deep Savers if I go to KB Toys. But nah, that wasn't the case at all. I didn't get a Deep Savers device until 2006 when I had a job and could pay to import it. Which may make you wonder how I got the Wonderswan. And that was a lot of allowances saved up right there. This is back between Crosswords and Apple Monsters. Yeah, that's true. They weren't getting released much in general. It's going to get a Tamagotchi, then I found out it's Common World stuff. Don't not get a Tamagotchi, though. I'll tell you right now, there are some good ones out there. I will say the On is not my preferred raising experience. But if you can snag yourself an old Tamagotchi connection, those things are fantastic. They are fun devices overall. I want to learn some programming so I can make a VPet. Do it! VPet's honestly one of the easiest programs you could ever possibly make at the base level. Then you may wonder why haven't I made one yet, and that's just because I focus more on this. But yeah, they aren't complex things. They're very basic programming, so that would be a fun project to start off with for sure. One another VPet history. So it is coming. I do have the actual video recorded. It's just hard for me to do a lot of editing stuff right now, just because of my current state of life. Once I have moved into my new house, and I mean moved in, I don't mean like I slept there for one night. I mean like I am there, I am unpacked, everything is where it needs to be, and I have had at least one party, assuming that everyone's vaccinated by then, which is looking pretty good in America. By the time my house is good to go, I might be able to actually have a party, which I am stoked for. I haven't had, oh my gosh, it's been since like February of last year. Wow, that sucks. So after I have at least one party, then I will start getting back into editing bigger things, because I will have less going on in my life basically and feel more up to it. So that is where I'm at with that. I'm trying to do less intense videos between now and then. Same, I've kind of wanted to make a VPet app for phone, but don't know Kotlin or Java. Even if you don't know that, listen, I only know web languages, and even in web languages, making a VPet would not be that difficult. Like, if you just can do some JavaScript, that would do it. Like, you need to know at least the JavaScript portion. You wouldn't be able to do it in pure HTML and CSS may be possible. I could see that working in some way or the other, but it's going to be more competent with JavaScript. So that's a easier thing to get your head around than Java or Kotlin or anything of the other ones. Thank you for upgrading guide. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Himi. I hope you enjoy it. I've still got to do some double checks, so I can't say this information is 100% correct yet, but it's getting there. I will be doing a full check once I finish the last requirement. The moment if it happens that Bandai releases an English pendulum, I'm buying it, no questions asked. Absolutely, same here. I already have all the pendulums, and I will still buy it again because I will absolutely support that, and it's just exciting. So you lock the Digimon egg on my Pen 20? Yeah, you do. So now if I would want to do Java, maybe something lighter, smaller. Lots of old Yu-Gi-Oh cards, translated cards the same way. Ugh, I hate it. I really do. That was definitely a beep. Was it one of mine? Did one of my guys beep? Lady Devimon, is that you? Yep, it was Lady Devimon. She done did to do a poo. Look what happens when I don't pay attention for a few minutes. Get that out of there. What's the best Digimon V pet to start off with? Is if you, yes, no, the best one to start off with is the one you can get your hands on, and that's the Digital Monster version 20th. I will say the Digital Monster X is better, at least in my opinion, and is releasing in a few months, but in all actuality, I still think the DM20 might be a better starter than the Digital Monster X. So the Digital Monster X, there's a lot more going on. It's a lot more, I don't know, easygoing on the DM20. Not as far as poop goes, obviously. You got to clean a lot of poop, but there's less to keep track of, I'd say. On the Digital Monster X, there's a lot of, like, there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more variance in what happens and quest mode and all that. It's, it could be a little bit overwhelming, I would say, but it's not a bad one either. Like, none of these devices are super complex, but I think the Digital Monster version 20th is just a very good introduction overall. We haven't even started second injections yet. Ugh, I'm sorry. Hopefully that comes out for everyone real soon. I am surprised the United States has gotten it as much as we have. I'm very happy about that because, you know, it was bad here for a while. Real bad. People just stopped caring, and it's scary when you go out and people aren't wearing their mask, and you're like, what is wrong with you? Why wouldn't you wear your mask? Like, so it's thankfully with this, I get my second injection next weekend, and it's I'm ready for it. I'm ready for myself to be ready to be done with this. I'll still be wearing a mask for a while, though, I'll tell you that. There's one thing I've learned from all this. It's that going to the grocery store is actually disgusting. And therefore, when I go grocery shopping, I will still be wearing a mask because I haven't gotten sick at all in the past year. And I like that. I have liked not getting sick. And I think that's because of my overabundance of hand sanitizer and mask wearing really has made a difference. So I want to keep that going. Not to mention stores just generally being like more up on their cleaning than they had in the past. Glad they delayed Prime 4 if it means we get a better game. Definitely. Oh man, it must have been terrible for them to be like, no, we got to start over. That's not a good sign when you feel like you got to start over the entire game. Arakune and oh yeah, that is a very similar. Yeah, that's like super similar. Same thing, I guess. Good on you, man. Thank you. Hope we get the 20 pendants. I really hope we do eventually at some point. Remember, anytime Bandai tweets, tweet back and say, can we have the Pendulum 20th released in America? Or whatever country you're in. Ask for it. I'd say, I specifically say Bandai America because they seem to kind of be like the spearhead of the whole thing, right? Like, they're the ones who are kind of distributing it to other areas as well to have them sold there. So even though other areas like Australia and Canada are getting it, the United States seems to be like kind of the starting point for it. So keep asking for it. They might get it. That's how we got everything else we've gotten. That's why we have a glow-in-the-dark Digimon device. It's because we asked for it. It really did come from that. So they are listening. They will take your feedback. They may not be able to do anything with it necessarily, but they will take it. They're listening to it. Let them know we want it. If enough people want it, maybe they will do something. That's the dream, at least. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to do this column over here. We got all these Ultimates and Wind Guardians that need some requirements in front of them. And we also need to update these ones with any new stuff that we've done. So we'll do some verification. So let's go ahead and scoot this on to that side. Let's open up Sublime, and let's get myself... Oops, I forgot to open something. Turning off screen for one moment. Opening that. Okay, good. That opened where I wanted it to. Turning screen back on. And we want to get... From my directory, we are in Pen Z, we are in Charts, and we are in Wind Guardian Z Prep. There we go. Alright, so I would like that to be switched, actually. You go over here, and then you go over here. Okay, so we need to double check these guys. So, Falcomon, in fact, this will be even easier if I open it up in both sides. I could have said duplicate tab. Don't do it the slow way like I did, everybody. Right click and just hit duplicate and you'll have it open again already. But I, for no reason, forgot about that. Alright, Falcomon. So your requirements say that you need... Okay, actually none of that would change because I haven't done anything with babies. We need to look at these guys. Pekmon. It says 0 to 2, 3 to 4. 0 to 2, 3 to 4. Check. From Hawkmon, 0 to 1, 0 to 1. Pekmon needs to be updated. Okay. So Pekmon, you come from 0 to 1 and 0 to 1 when evolving from Hawkmon. Easy peasy. Alright, Diatrimon, 0 to 2, 0 to 2. That's a check. Petermon, 0 to 1, 2 to 4. That is a check. 3+, that is a check. Okay. Kekatrimon doesn't matter because we have other over there. Parasarmon, 0 to 2, 2 to 4. 2+. Yep, and 3 to 4. We don't have that as 3 to 4 right now. Parasarmon, when coming from Virus 1, is 2+, 3 to 4. Okay, good. And then coming from Wolfmon, 0 to 2 and 0 also needs to be updated. 0 to 2 and 0. Okay. Vegemon, 3+ from Falco, check. 2+, well, Falco and, okay, 2+ and 0 to 2. So we have 2+, but we don't have 0 to 2. So we need 0 to 2 for Tinkermon. From Vegemon. And coming from a virus, 2+, 0 to 2. Alright. Aquilamon, 0 to 1, 2 to 4. 0 to 1, 2 to 4. And then I know we need an update for Garum for sure. How do I want to put that? Well, no, it's yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking hard about it because it's different devices. It has different amounts, so that's fine. We could do that. Okay, so from the free we have 0 to 2, and for Wind Guardians it is 1 to 4. And then we just did other for Gabumon, which is accurate. So who doesn't have an other right now? And real quick, I'll check you too. 0 to 1 and 4. 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 3 to 4. That's right, 0 to 1, 3 to 4. Garuru, 0 to 1, 3 to 4. Okay, so for other, we have Cockatrimmon for Pomamon, Tinkermon, and Hawkmon. So that leaves Falcomon and Wolfmon. Do Falcomon and Wolfmon share any? So that's blue and red. Blue and red. Doesn't really look like it. Hawkmon and Falcomon. Nope. The same 3. Wolfmon and Tinkermon. Just Falcomon, and then Falcomon and Hawkmon. Yeah, so it's not really another good one to put as an other scenario, it would seem. So just one other. I really can't tighten up even this. Let's refresh now that I've done that and see if there's any overlapping requirements, which there probably aren't, unfortunately. Okay, so that's... Oh, I didn't upload this. It's like, I don't know why you refreshed. If I didn't upload anything, nothing's going to be different. Upload! Okay, let's try that again. There we go. Okay, so 0 to 2, 3 to 4, 0 to 1, 0 to 2, and no. There really isn't any overlap. This is all 3 the same, right? Well, that's Hawkmon instead of Wolfmon. So maybe, is there anything that Hawkmon crosses over with that would be good? I don't like doing other for top care, so I wouldn't like to do it for that. Hawkmon's not on that. Not really, no. There's not a good one to make an other, so we'll just keep all of this. It's gonna... I really wish there was a way to clean up Parasarmon. What are the requirements here? Yeah, they're all different. Wait, Tinkermon is really 0? Is it 0, 0 for that? Petermon, 0 to 1, 2 to 4. 0 to 1, 0 for Cockatremon. We didn't update Cockatremon. Cockatremon needs an update. I swear I did. I remember seeing Cockatremon in here from Tinkermon. No, just from Hawkmon. Okay, so let's go to the Wind Guardians tab here. And let's go up to Tinkermon into Cockatremon 0 to 1, 0 to 1. Yep, so we need to update that in the database. Repull, just to be safe. Tinker 0 to 1 and 0 to 1. Update that. We will update it over here as well. So Cockatremon from Virus 1. Oh no, we don't need to update that. It's other, so that's fine. And then push the new one, please. I want an updated Excel with a bigger screen. I would love an Excel Anniversary Edition so very much. I hope that next year is the 20th anniversary of the Digimon Pendulum Progress, and I am really hoping that they actually do a version 20th of the Pendulum Progress. That would make me very happy. Yeah, those almost cross over, but they don't actually cross over, so I can't really expand these into something different. So let's see. Between these two, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Digimon. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I can make it so that I have an other here and an other here and then one other condition on both, that would at least make it a little bit cleaner looking. So for you, Wolfmon is basically... Okay, yeah, so green and blue. That's Pomamon and Wolfmon would make sense. So would Hawkmon and Tinkermon... Hawkmon makes less sense because it's 2+, but... Wait, yes. Oh, because that's its max carry. Yeah, we don't want to do max for that. So that would be more like Tinker and Parasar. 2+, 3 to 4. This could work for Tinker and Wolf. So Tinker and Wolf, and then Pomu and Hawk. That would leave one thing for Tinker here, and one thing for Pomu here. And that would just leave Falco, but Falco doesn't really have a need for an other anywhere. The closest thing would be Veggie, but Veggie only has... Veggie has 3? And one of them's Tinker. What would that do for me? Not much. That actually wouldn't help me that much, because while it would make Parasamons lower, I'm still dealing with 4 different requirement boxes, which it's not really a gain. Like, the goal would be to have fewer requirement boxes, and if it's not meeting that, then there's no reason to try to shoehorn it in a different way. So we'll stick with that as the other. That is what we are doing. As the guy who loved Dawn and Dust DS games and never had a V-Pet, are Coronamon, Lunamon, and any V-Pets? Yes, they are in the, we'll pull them up real quick. Mega just answered as well. But if we go to versions and exclusives on the Digital Monster version 20th page, we can see version C, these devices here, have Coronamon, while version D, these devices here have Lunamon, but the only thing is that you have to connect to 5 other devices in order to... 5 other unique devices, no less. It has to be either has a different name or a different version from the device you're connecting with. And, yeah, so unlocking them is hard, but you can get them, and they do turn into this guy. So that's pretty cool. Be cool if Digimon got the Tama treatment and got one with the lit color screen. I would love it. I mean, honestly, the Vital Bracelet having a color screen, that's already, like, huge for me. I'm loving that a lot, even if some of the sprites are less than ideal. But overall, it's, like, it's fantastic. I love it. Love to see it. I'd love to see it on a more traditional V-Pet, too. So I've always been curious how to actually determine the requirements for evolution. Could you explain the process? By the way, I'm new to your channel. Yes, absolutely I can, and welcome to the channel. So, we have a few tests that I need to run, so I'll run one here as an example. So, let's go... We'll do one of the faster ones here. Actually, why not? No, this is slower. Now we'll do the faster one. For the purpose of the demonstration, this will be more interesting. So I'm going to take this little guy right here, and we're going to reset it. And the first thing is that I am in debug mode. This means that I opened up my device and took it apart and soldered some, just a little bit of material right below where the screen is, about right there. And there's a little connection right there that I was connecting. And by putting the solder there, that bridged it, and I was able to access debug mode. In debug mode, I have access to a few perks. So for example, I can hit the load button, and I can now choose between, let me angle that down a little bit more into the light. I can now choose between any Digimon raisable on this device. And once I click on them, I will load it, set the time, whatever, and bam, there we go. I'm raising whatever Digimon I choose. So in this case, I got Lilamon right there. So that's, first of all, how I can quickly get to a Digimon I need to test. Beyond that, though, and we're going to test this because we'll say, we're going to, that cell I've got highlighted right there, not that one. I don't want to do that one. We're going to test Poromon with 0 care mistakes and 0 effort, because that's the actual easiest thing to test. So what I need to do, though, is that this is for testing with no connections, right? Well, that's testing with one. I'm going to test this one right here. Poromon, no connections whatsoever. To do that, I actually have to reset the device fully. There we go. Brand new device, never been used, basically. So we're going to set the time. And since I'm focusing on this, I'll make this a little bit bigger for the moment, too. There you go, so you can see it. Okay, so now that I've set the time, I got the egg, right? So I'm going to hit these 2 buttons. Bam. That fast-forwarded time so that the egg just instantly hatches. I now have a little baby Perurumon. We're going to fast-forward time a few times for that thing. That's 1 poop. They will do 3 poops every time. Fast forward once more. And then I will give it 1, 2, 3, 4 snacks, and 1, 2, 3, 4 different snacks. Fast forward once more. It will evolve into Poromon. And there we go. So now we have unlocked Poromon. Nice. And since I don't have any other connections, I could test this 0 connection thing here. So 0 care mistakes. That actually has me wanting to do 1 effort. So I guess I'll do a couple training sessions. Training is the longest thing that I have to work with when I test, because there's not really a good way to speed that up. The Digital Monster X had the best solution for that, which was an actual debug menu on the device, which made it much, much easier to get all the requirements for that device. So we'll just skip through the trainings here. So that's 1. Every 4 trainings is 1 effort heart. And here goes. Yo, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Codename. Appreciate it. I am doing well. 3rd training. I'd like something like a D3 size thing where you can unscrew the antenna and make a slide-in double-A battery mixed with an Excel. An Excel, it's a Digivice variant. It's still definitely a VPET. It's not as much of a focus on raising as other VPETs are, because it has a DNA system instead of a more traditional care system. In order to get things, you still can get care mistakes, and they will still kill your Digimon, and you still raise it in real time. Which that's my definition of a VPET, right? Is it has to be something that you work with in real time. If it doesn't have any consequences during real time use, then it's not a VPET. So in the case of Excel, you still have to take care of it in order for it to stay alive. But it's really fun. I have a whole video up on it on the channel. Just search in, honestly, if you type in Digimon Excel, it probably is one of the first few videos to pop up on YouTube. But okay, so now we have 1 effort heart, and we're going to be now fast forwarding. So we're going to change the time to 21. And we don't want any care mistakes, so we will put it to bed. And then we fast forward. We just let that go. So we're going to just leave that up for right there. I'll keep answering the questions here. Digimon VPET from the 2005. Yep. And yes, it is where Digisoul came from, as well as a bunch of other stuff. Watch the whole video. I'm not going to go over it all again here, but the video has a lot of good details on it. It's my personal, one of my favorite all-time devices. And that's for a lot of reasons. I really like the DNA system. I think it's a great idea. I think it could be executed better, but I really do like the idea of Digimon evolving based on the type of DNA that they take in. Oh, Vital Bracelet. That's a new Fitbit Digimon. Is it a full VPET Digimon? It's fullish. It's a Mega Artist. It's more so a Fitbit with VPET elements. And yeah, that's a good way to describe it. You're not going to be feeding, and you're not going to be cleaning up poop and all that. But evolution still happens the same way, where as you raise it, it'll evolve into new forms as time goes on based on how you've been raising it. And so it's very much VPET in that sense. Thanks for the awesome answer. You're very welcome. I do like the idea of Digivolution having time restrictions. Definitely. I do like the time being a thing. I think the IC was a good middle ground, which there'll be a video about that soon enough. By soon enough, I mean within the next few months. IC is a good middle ground because it used DNA and it also was evolved based on time rather than when you hit the max DNA, which I do like that better. I just don't like how basic DNA was used in the IC because it's like, oh, you fed one water DNA, you're going to become Gamemon. And it's like, well, I do want to become Kamemon. I don't want to become it just from feeding it one water and calling it good. That's boring. I'd like it to be more interesting than that. So the XL had a more interesting way of doing DNA combinations to get your results, and was also more restricted in what you can evolve into. Like, you couldn't just get anything from anything, which I like. But IC blended it with time restrictions, which I also like. I think both, I'd like a fusion of both, which is my ideal thing. If I ever do make a Digimon VPET, which obviously I've thought about it many times, but that's a thought, is not a do, then that would be like the crux of my thing, is it would be based all around DNA, but would be more also bring a lot in for the time requirements as well. Like, you need to get this much DNA before this amount of time to be able to reach a thing. And also get the DNA a very different way. I think, surprisingly, I didn't know this because I never actually played the DS games, but apparently what I wanted to do, I described it to somebody and they're like, oh, you mean like in Digimon World DS? And I'm like, what? Apparently you get experience of different fields from fighting different Digimon, which is exactly what I would want in a VPET. I would want it to be like, if I fought Zudomon, I would get aquatic DNA from Zudomon, and that would be my ideal way of going about it. That way you're not like just constantly getting items and feeding them. That's not as exciting as having to get it from battling, and you also have less control if it's through battling, because you might battle something that's not Zudomon, and well, that might steer you on a different path, which I have to say, and this may become surprising from someone who does so much with guides, I don't like it when evolutions are super easy to like just map out and achieve. I like mapping them out. I love doing that part, but I would prefer if I had like, I don't want it to be random either, but I want it to be somewhat out of my hands to make new runs unique, because it's very easy when you pick up an old device and be like, oh, I want to get this guy. I'm gonna pick up my IC. First thing I'm gonna think, I'm gonna try to get Kamemon and his whole line. But like, that means I'm not raising the other ones as much, and that's not as interesting. And so I'd like it to be slightly out of my hands. That way, I still have the ability to push to where I want to go, but ultimately it's going to be based on that unique raising experience. Tamagotchi does a good way, where every other generation you get different Tamas. On the Tamagotchi connection. So it's like, you literally can't get the same thing 2 runs in a row, even if you wanted to. So just some way to make it more interesting. Drinks a single glass of water. I'm a water Digimon now. That's basically how it worked. So going back to the question, how do I determine revolution? So we have now Pomamon on here for doing nothing, which is, really? Huh. Pomamon must be easy to get when you don't have anything. Okay, so there we go. Pomamon is what it is. And so if... oh, Falcomon's up there. Oh, right, Falcomon's the top tier. I was thinking Pomamon was the top tier because it's the best Digimon on the device, but Pomamon is not. Pomamon's not top tier. Falcomon is. The wrong Falcomon, no less. So there we go. So now I know, okay, so Pomamon's there. Falcomon's 4, so that means I need to test 2 and 3. And if I test 2 and I get Falcomon, then I'm done testing it. Or if I test 3 and I get Pomamon, I'm done testing. Or if I don't get the other one, then I have to do more testing, but that's just how that goes. So that's how I do it. That's how I test all the results on these devices. So it's a faster process. It's not as fast as it was on the X2, sadly, but it is still definitely a faster process. And I'll give you a little glimpse into what that was. And I can't do it right now, but if I was to hit the this button right down here, so it shows me the stats, right? Once I get here, this is how many... oh my gosh, I got a care mistake on Lady Devimon. What did I do? This shows me how many care mistakes I have and how many trainings I've done. So I've done 2 trainings and I have 1 care mistake. I better be careful. This shows me what my current level is and how many stage 6 Digimon I have defeated. And what I can do is if I hit this button, I can just increase it as much as I want. So now I'm level 8. Not going to do that. That's cheating. And that's not what I do in casual runs. But and then this would determine whether I've beaten the last area that I can access. And then this is what I do is I just hit the change button. hit fast forward, and just like 2 seconds later, bam, I am evolving into the next form. So very handy. I wish that was on every device for my sake, but it is not. It was only on the X2 red and purple, and that was it, which is a huge bummer, because when I got the X3, I was so disappointed to see that it was not still there. But it's also why the X3 guide isn't finished yet, because the X3 is a very, very complicated device, and doing that testing without an easy way of doing it like that it's time consuming. So I accidentally bumped the camera there. Let me put that back. Tamagotchi Connect brought me an image of Digimon breeding to unlock a new Digimon. Yeah, that would be great too. I think that would be well, that's basically what Joggersing is, huh? So we got it, Joggersing. Falcomon looks weird in my opinion. Yeah, because he's wrong. He's supposed to be the other Falcomon. It's supposed to be friggin' Falcomon, Wikimon. Freaking look at this guy. This guy's great. Love him. This is the one true Falcomon. Ninja Bird, not so much. Not a fan of Ninja Bird. But oh well. I can make this smaller now that I'm not doing the explanation anymore. Blip. There we go. Alright. Let's get back to whatever the heck I'm doing over here. I've been talking a lot today. That's not very good for development, is it? I just want to let you know that Super Duper Ultimate gave you a laugh. Glad it did. For those unaware, I can't take credit for that. That is a Team 4-star reference. When Vegeta sees... Oh, what is the actual context? I think Goku says to Vegeta, is like, Gohan's found a way to surpass Super Saiyan. And they're like, what? Like a Super Duper Saiyan? And then Vegeta in his mind is like, if he has become a Super Duper Saiyan, then I shall become a Super D-Duper Saiyan! Or something like that. And it's like... I just loved it so much. So if I was to go another line, I would go Super D-Duper as the next thing. So thank you, Team 4-star, for the wonderful abridged series that you made. It's not quite Joggersing. Thomas can combine traits from the pair. Oh, you mean like the new... So I'm used to like the connection, right? The connection didn't really have traits on it. It's just like they made a baby, and then there you go. So yeah, no, I'm not familiar too much with the modern trait system. I know what it's like. Like, I've seen the results of it. I've seen the horrible abominations that come out of the Tamagotchi on. I do not jive well with modern Tamagotchi designs. I really don't, I'm afraid. I have nothing against them, but it's like, it's just so not my thing, sadly. It's not quite, because Tommy is so good. Could lead to some interesting combinations, though. Awesome, thanks for explaining the process. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. First time seeing you in your stream, videos got me in the Digimon V Pets. Already got Suckamon. Glad to hear it. Awesome. That's awesome. That is great to hear. I am very happy that my videos are doing something like that, because that's why I'm doing them. I want people to know more about this stuff, because I go to work and I have put these things out, and every time anyone sees them for the first time, they're like, "What the heck are those?" And you know, they're just so unknown of a thing. So the more awareness I can bring to them for people, the happier I am, because I love these little guys. All right, so we are good with this row now. So, wow. All right. Is it really called Crowmon in the dub? I just saw that for a brief moment. I totally forgot that's its name. All right, so 0 to 2, 4 to 6. 0 to 2, 4 to 6. Check. Oh, we have others here. 0 to 2, 4 to 6. 0 to 2, 4 to 6. Oh, nice and easy. Okay, Hippogriffo would be no changes since that's just Joggersing. 0 to 2, 4 to 6 is the maximum. Teropiamon, this should be some changes. 0 to 1, 5 to 6, 0 to 1, 4, 6, and 0 to 2, 4 to 6. 3 different ways of getting that. But we do need to update Parasar, because that should be 0 to 1. So where is my thing? There we go. So Teropiamon. And Parasar should be 0 to 1, and oh, it's 5 to 6 as well. So a little bit more open. Virus 2, Veggie, 0 to 1 and 6. That's what I already have. Diatra, 0 to 2, 4 to 6. Can't get any more open than that. Love that evolution too. Okay. One day I will purchase you Sublime Text. I should just purchase that. The guy made a great program. I need to support it. Support your devs, people. I am going to support that dev. I'm going to, after this call, go on and purchase that. And there we go. It's a tax write-off even. I have no reason not to purchase it. Unless it's like $10. And if it's like $10 or less, it's not worth it as a tax write-off. Always support. good work like that when they ask for it. Okay, Entmon... Is Entmon joggers only? That can't be right. Is Entmon joggers only? I swear it had another way of getting it. Nah, joggers only. Okay, wow. Cool. So not an update with Entmon then. Sylphimon, nothing new there. Still joggers, and nothing new... Where Garurumon should be more open than that, and it is. I knew that from the beginning too. Why didn't I have that? 0 to 2, 4 to 6, right? But you know what? I think that was a leftover because the Metal Greymon and Deep Sabers. I just found out that both Metal Greymon and Marine Chimeramon on Deep Sabers were both too strict on the requirements that I had listed. Like they were correct in the database, but I didn't have them updated on the visual side, so I went in and fixed those, I think just today. Was that today that I fixed that? I might have. Alright, so where Garurumon, that needs to be 0 to 2 and 4 to 6. Okay, so we've done that. So now we're going to go into the next one. So Ravemon, you're up first. How do you get all this info? So I actually did just go over a little bit of it. All the info that I get is done by, I'm just going to briefly, if you scrub backwards a little bit, you can watch me talk about it again. But on these devices, I have a way to choose whatever Digimon I want to choose, and I have the ability to fast forward them. So, for example, if I was to raise like Holy Angemon, I would fast forward it so that it would use up 40 hours of time, and then I would do whatever requirements I need to before that. And so I fast forward it several times overnight, and over its night, not over my night, and then it evolves. So for that 40, what's the time ratio? It's like 10 seconds, I think, is 1 hour, if I remember that correctly. So, like, Holy Angemon sleeps from 11 to 7. So, if I do that, then 10 seconds times 8, so 80 seconds. So, a minute and 20 seconds later, it'll wake up. I put it back to bed for another minute and 20 seconds. And then, eventually, that will run out after 5 sessions of that, basically. I'll have 40 hours. And then it will evolve based on whatever I did. So, I just keep testing those until I narrow everything down to their final thing. Questions. What would be the worst Digimon to get if that breeding thing would happen? I mean, there's plenty of poop Digimon to go around for sure. There's also a lot of good options. So like Metal Greymon, for example, is basically like Greymon trying to, it's like dying, but it's trying to save itself by combining itself with metal parts. So that would be like a good trait one to come out of that. Would be like Metal Greymon with a android Digimon and a dinosaur Digimon. You get both of them together, bam, you get Metal Greymon. Why did they give Tamagotchi of all things a camera? I don't know. I don't even think you could take pictures off of it. Like, there doesn't seem to be a way to actually, when you take the picture, remove it from the device. So it's like, what are you going to do with that? I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I don't think it had Bluetooth. I think it may have NFC, but you can't transfer pictures over NFC. Like, technically, yes, you could, but you really shouldn't. And it wouldn't be able to generate a QR code detailed enough to pull that off of. So I don't know. You just have pictures, I guess. Digimon was the thing I knew as a kid. Could never get. Then the 20th came out over here. Yeah, that's awesome. That is definitely awesome. Support a dev, not even once. Renamon cross Sukamon. That would be a great Tamagotchi camera. How did you get all this info? Tamagotchi pics. Oh, good. A poop with the face of a fox. That would be fantastic. All right, here we go. Ravemon. So you need 0 to 2, 8, 0 to 2. Okay, good. So Yatagaramon and Parrotmon have the same requirements, and then Lilamon is different. So we currently have 2 divs for this already, but they're both Joggers divs. So we'll need to duplicate this, change it to 0. Okay, so mistake 0, 2, and level 8. This is coming from Vaccine 1, and, well, actually we have 2, so we'll need to make 2 connecting lines here. Change the middle one to a spacer. And then this would be Vaccine 1, that will be Vaccine 2. Vaccine 1 is the predominant one, so we'll keep that up top. And I will worry about the first and all that later. We'll come back to those ones. Next one is Lilamon with a Vaccine Perfect. We already have Vaccine there. Lilamon, are you Data 2? Lilamon is Data 2, so it's already labeled the right way. Perfect. Data 2, okay, so that's good. We're going to go with Ravemon. Ancient Irismon is up next. That's a lot of things. Okay, so 2 different requirements there. Vaccine free. Ooh, we need a space over there real quick. That was on Yatagaramon into Ancient Irismon. We need to add a little space right there. Boom. Apply. Alright. Fixed that right up. Okay, so Jogger's vaccine free, and just vaccines. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 total panels for this one. Okay. And unfortunately, there's not really an other option at this point. Other will only work when I go to child and when I go to adult. There's other elsewhere is completely useless as an visual help. Alright, so order won't matter just too much just yet, so we'll just do this in whatever order I feel like. Let's duplicate this one first, since that already has 2 in it. But we need to get rid of the first identifier there. And then one more. Okay. Alright, so 0 to 2, level 8. And again, the order won't matter, so I'll just come back and change that out another time. The mistake, 0 to 2. And that would be level 8. And that only comes from 1 Digimon, and that 1 Digimon is a Data 2. There we go. And Teropiamon, that one will have similar, but not exactly the same. Teropiamon is 0 to 2 and 7 to 8. Just like that. And that is Virus 1, right? 1? Virus 1, yep. Virus 1, 0 to 2, 7 to 8, Virus 1. Okay, then we have Yatagaramon and Parrotmon, which share requirements. So we will have Vaccine 1 and Vaccine 2. And we'll make Vaccine 2 the predominant this time, since I usually do that for the Joggers ones. And Vaccine free, that's what I already have. Good. And then lastly, we have Just Vaccine. So Joggers with Just Vaccine, that's what I already have there. Must have been a similar Digimon on the other chart. And that's Sylphimon, which Sylphimon is free 3. Paste and paste. And the reason I'm changing these things is that is what adjusts the color. So I need to, if I need it to be the light blue color that Sylphimon's using, I need to make sure to put free 3, because that's the indicator for the light blue. All the colors do correspond with attributes on the pendulum guides. This attribute's very important, so I make it front and center. Other devices, not so much. On the digital monster devices I have up, no, they don't go by attribute. Although Vital Bracelet does. Vital Bracelet, I do have that colored by attribute as well, since it also matters there. Basically, anything with Jogger Sing by attribute, I will color by attribute. Is the easiest way to put it. Okay, so Ancient Iris we should be good with. Next up is Shenwumon. And for Shenwu, we have only 2. That's it, huh? Only 2 things you can get. Is that right? Double checking database just to make sure. Shenwu only comes for 2 things. Alright. Easy peasy then. We won't need this middle one. Get rid of that. So first is 0 to 1. So mistake 0, 1. And level 6 to 8. And that comes from Entmon, who is Virus 2. And wait. Oh yeah, that's the next one. I'm like, why do I have so many? It's just because I have this unnecessary gap right there. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Hippogriffo, that's Data 1. And Joggers is from a Vaccine. Perfect. So Vaccine. And there we go. And this is Vaccine. Wait, is Vaccine 4? Really? Hey, vaccines are on this device. Yeah, sure enough, he's vaccine 4. Holy cow. It's quite a few. Yeah, we got Rave, Iris, Shenwu, and... Well, who's the last one? Why are you vaccine 4 if there's only 3 vaccines? You should be vaccine 3. You definitely shouldn't be Data. Vaccine 3. Vaccine 3. And vaccine 3. Right? I'm not crazy, right? It was 1, 2, 3 vaccines. Data. Virus, virus, free, free, Data. Yeah, you're not supposed to be pink. You're supposed to be whatever the heck. Orange? I guess, yeah, it's orange. You're supposed to be orange. Oh, you know what? I probably didn't do orange because, like, it would be confusing with it being where, like, you might associate that with going into that. That probably was my thought process. Nope. I made that guy orange. My old thought process was dumb. Okay, so we're making you orange. You should be orange, not pink. I try not to use pink because it's very much a very in-your-face color. And I don't like it as much for this. It's not just because it's pink, but it's like, it's pink. And I can't really, the problem too is like if I change the shades too much, then it starts resembling other shades too much. So I got to be really careful about that. So that's why it is pink, because it's noticeably different, but I use that one as a last resort, hence why it's vaccine 4 and not vaccine 3. Ancient. Same with gray for that matter, but for different reasons. I just don't like using gray because gray looks dumb. It's like, okay, all these colors and then gray. So, last resorts. Okay, Ancient Troya, you're up. Look at all those Jogresses! Holy crap. That's a lot. Alright, but that should be easy enough. So we have Data Free up first. So we'll just change that from Davi to Dafre. And that's coming from Data 2. Data 2, Data 2, and then it'll come from Data Free. Yes, it does. Sit up a little bit. I'm slouching too much. Alright, so we need to tab. I guess we'll just tab it in the normal way. I don't know why I highlighted it. Okay, div class equals column. Gotta make a new column for this. Okay, and oh, hi Mario, how you doing? Change this to spacer 5 and get rid of that because that's not necessary here anymore. Alright, so that's also Data 1, which probably should have been reverse order, but whatever, I've already done it. Okay, so we are good there, and that's Data Free. Okay, so Data Free, Data Free. Do we have any other Data Frees? Yeah, Sylphimon is also Data Free. And that would be Free 3 is the color code for that. Next up we have Data Virus, so change that to that. Just remove the second requirement because there is not a second requirement for Jogress Digimon. And this is Vaccine 1, but it's a Jogress only, so we'll go with Vaccine 2 for now. I might change it later. The specific colors I use all over these places, I will not necessarily stick with them. And I should have done this first. Tab that out. Okay, Data Virus is also the case for, yeah, it's also for Parrot, so Vaccine 1, well, I guess that's what I was already doing there. Parrot is Vaccine 2, so I just added Yatagara. Okay, and then we have Vaccine or Data. So really there's only 3 requirements, so I can get rid of this. We don't need that extra one there. And then we can go remove that, make that Jogress Vada. I love that in Sublime, you don't have to type out the entirety of the word. It'll figure out what you're talking about. Like, look at this. I could just type Java, and like, even though those letters aren't right next to each other, like it knows like, oh, you want one of these guys, and it's like, yeah. Freaking Sublime is great. Vaccine Data. There's a lot of features too that it has that I just don't know and don't use. That would probably also save me time. All right, copy that and paste it right there so that we have. Why is that spaced and not tabbed? There we go. Okay, so that would be virus And since it's joggers, we'll make it virus 2, and virus 1 will go second. Virus 2, and that's data 1, so that stays. Okay, Ancient Troyamon, we are good with you. Ornismon, really, really underused Digimon. Ornismon is fantastic. I love like this whole ancient bird type thing. Like it fits great along with Digimon like Diatramon. There's not a good in between for the two. Like Diatramon definitely fits with Ornismon theming wise, but between the two of them, there's not a great one. So personally, I love Garudamon a lot. So like on my own little personal evolution line, I like it to go Diatramon to Garudamon to Ornismon. Although I also like Diatramon to become Metal Greymon. But yeah, I think it's a really good fit overall. Very new to Digimon, only ever grew up Pokemon, so my favorite ones are Zubamon, Pulsemon, Blitzgreymon, and Shoutmon. All good choices, and I love that too, because like you could tell you started off like with the virtual pet side of things for those guys to be your favorites. Shoutmon, not so much. Do you have a free pet with Shoutmon on it, or did you just find out about that one through some other means? But no, that's cool. That's really cool. See, I have some color blindness, so pink isn't pretty bland. That's true. That is very true. You're developing a PC version of Digimon V-Pet. Not right now. If anything, I'd make a web-based V-Pet, because that's what I'm most familiar with, and I think it'd be nice to be able to access it very easily from whatever device you're on as a progressive web app. Because that's really like what I'm like these days, is if I make anything, it would be in a progressive web app. Is my camera like drastically out of focus right now? I don't know. I don't even know how to change it if it is. Yeah, so I'd make it a progressive web app. That way you can install it on your phone or on your computer and just run it everywhere, and it will always be in sync. Because I would have it synced to the server from there, and also I know how to do it. So it's like but you know, that's a big time sink. So that's the hard part. I have not been able to at any point dedicate a significant amount of time to that. Maybe once I get all these evolution guides to where I want them to be, that'll be what I do next. I guess I'd have to. If people aren't looking for evolution guides, they gotta look for a new pet to play with. Better than Garudamon to Phoenixmon. Yeah, Phoenixmon, it's like, it's alright, but it's like, I don't know, it doesn't scream anything special to me. Especially with its weird abs. Shoutmon was on the first V-Pet I played. Really? Was that the Crossloader or was that the Cross Mini? Wish web apps worked well on a phone. Oh, on your phone. Really? That's odd. I'm surprised about that. If you ever want to see a good example of a PWA, by the way, people, my favorite one is Pokedex.org. It's not a good Pokedex anymore, unfortunately. I think it only has up to Gen 5. But this is like my gold standard for a PWA because, like, first of all, it's clean, super clean. Love this design. You click on it. Hey, look, can you tell why I like this? You click on it, that pops up. It looks really nice. You go back, and it's got a lot of good transitions. That's one thing I do want to add to my site at some point. Some transitions that look nicer than what I currently have up, and that's not even that hard to do these days. I just gotta spend some time on it, I guess. But the nice thing is that you see this little button up here, right? Is that I can install it. Once I install it, all this information becomes offline to me. I can access it at any time, so I don't have to constantly reload assets. So it's a great way to save on data, transferring as well, and just make everything nice and snappy. That's one of my goals, absolutely one of my goals. It's right here on the Trello board. To ideas to research is convert site to PWA, and that is one of the goals. So that way you can install the site on whatever you want. iPhone, Android, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, I don't care what you're using. Anything that supports PWAs, which is everything these days, you'll be able to install the site on it and not have to even worry about calling for images and stuff. It'll still call the database, but it's not going to call the images, which will save time with loading. But that is absolutely an improvement that I will make, and that's one of my main goals. Once I can figure out PWAs, then I am in business. It will open up a lot to me. I almost had it figured out, and then I stopped because I was like, wait, hold on, I gotta actually do other stuff with this first. Crossmini, yeah. Does anyone know when Jordan Vega will be back to Etsy? I'm not sure. I know he's still doing Tamagotchi shells, but doesn't really seem to want to do pendulums anymore. I know he got burnt out from it for a bit there, unfortunately. I added it to your home screen. Awesome. My big problem with the home screen adding is that it still has the little Chrome shortcut icon on it on Android, meaning that it's not a true PWA. It does mean that I have at least put manifest in for that. That's why you have the nice icon there. I at least added the icon and a few other things to make it so that when you add it to a home screen, it'll still look nice. But as far as making it a true PWA, I got work to go with that. And it'll at least save to your local cache a little bit with the images. Most of the images should locally cache, but there's still stuff it's got to do, which is eh. More masculine evolution for Togemon, like a Plant Knight or a Boxer would be interesting. I like Blossomon for that, but that's just because I'm big on the old pendulums. Alright, continuing on here. Oh my gosh, we're almost up on time. I'm like 4 minutes. We gotta hurry up. Ornusmon needs evolutions. Alright. Ornusmon, Hippogriffomon. We got 3, and those are 3 different thingies, so we will... I'm sorry about my use of the word thingies, by the way. I say that a lot when I can't think of the word right in the top of my head. So like I could say requirements, or I could say divs, but I say thingies because it's like I am thinking requirements and divs at the same time, and so in my head it's like, oh well, that is thingies. That makes sense to me for no reason. Hippogriffo is Data 1. I love this song. What is this song? I like this a lot. It's got a good mix of things going on in it. What do we... I gotta look. I know I said we're short on time, but I have to look at what the song is called before it ends. Oh, it's still got time. Ice Lock by Zircon. Oh, I know Zircon. It's always amazing. I love when I'm like, oh, what is this song? I like this song. It's like, oh, that's why, because I like this artist. Alright, so okay, we got that one. Entmon is Dragos with virus free or perfect, or virus for free perfect, which we've got that one there already, so we'll just take that out. Virus 2 is Entmon. And then Lilamon is Data 2. And that's Joggers with a virus. Check, check, check. Virus 1 combiner. That is virus 1, so we'll leave that. Good. Ornusmon, you're done. And Sutsemon. Again, Chinese romanization. How does that say Sutsemon to anybody? Not helpful. Please redo Chinese romanization. Make it so we can actually like understand the language better, because like that's not helping anyone whatsoever. It's not helping anyone in China. It's not helping one over here. It's no. It's that doesn't say Sutsemon. That says Yuchaomon. And I'm only saying the CH for that because that's what it is with Chinese. So more correctly be like Zhuqiaomon, which is dumb. But no, that's yeah, whatever. I'm gonna stop ranting about Chinese romanization one of these days. Probably not today. Virus. Okay, so we need 2 for this one because the requirements do overlap. So for the first one, it's virus or free, and get rid of this. This is going to be a spacer now, spacer 5. And this is from virus. We have Data 1 and we have virus 1. And since it's a virus Digimon, we'll use the virus as the key color. That's Jagras with a virus or a free. And I love this kind of stuff. This is like the kind of thing you'd hear in the background of like old like programs from the 2000s. But like better. That was a terrible way to describe it, but that's what it reminds me of. It's like background music. That's what it is. It's good background music. And then Sylphimon, so that's free 3. And that's Joggersing with a virus perfect. We'll just take this whole thing right here and just remove part of it. If I got rid of the dot, that's not good. Okay. And then the rest of these should be pretty straightforward. So it was virus perfect. Oh wait, no, hold on, I did this backwards. You, my friend, need to come over here. Yeah, more piano. I love a good piano. Okay, Data 1 and Free 3 are now down here. They should be switched. I didn't need to, but I'm going to. Especially since I don't know for sure what the order they'll be in soon is. Okay. Why did you want more? That makes sense. Blossomon is too big. It needs to be sleek. Oh, I see what you're saying. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. Jukumon is very skewed Q. All right, save. Okay, so the rest of these should be pretty straightforward. So I'll go overtime a little bit here, right? Because this should just be like one thing. All right, Valkyrie, and it should already be here. 0 to 2 to 6 to 8, so one a little bit more, but from free 3, yes. Beowulfmon is 0 to 2, 6 to 8. Not Beowulfmon. We need to go with, I do this every time. Magnagarumon, okay. 0 to 2, 6 to 8, or Jagras with Data Virus for either one of them. I hate his sprite so much, it looks like a rabbit. Metalgarurumon, 0 to 2, 6 to 8, and Jagras with Vaccine Free. Yep, okay, good. So we got that whole line done. We're going to come back up to the top where our CSS is hanging out. Our embedded CSS, not the site-wide, because this is all temporary CSS, and I don't add temporary CSS to the main CSS doc. So we need to add this guy right here for Ultimate Digimon, and this is what it will make those panels I just created show up, because right now, even if I refresh, right, there'll be nothing there. Nothing, but we need them to show up, because right now I have them forcibly hidden. Alright, so that means we need to go over here. Do it for this too. Change that to Ultimate. I think those are the only two places I need to change it. Save it. Bring up my FTP server. Upload it. And let's see if we win. If we got this all there, as long as it's at least showing up, then I'm going to call this good for now. One of them's not showing up. Alright, so but otherwise we do have the requirements popping up here. You don't see the lines yet because those are still hidden until I remove another piece of CSS that I remove later during the process. That's once I got everybody filled out here, then I make the lines happen. Okay, so what are we trying to do here for Ancient Troyamon? We're trying to load Daver. That's not a thing. Alright, so we need to fix that. That is bright. Good heavens. Looking at a dark sublime this whole time. Alright, Troya. What just popped up just there, just then? Troya. Yeah, there's no such thing as ver. Save. Upload. Typos are the leading cause of a page not appearing correctly. At least in my experience. Also, Shenmumon is orange now. That's nice. Definitely less jarring to my eyes. Okay, so there we go. They all have some stuff hanging out with them. We don't have a lot of reds, do we? We're going to have to add some more red in there. One of my things with how I color these boxes, again, it is mostly based on what they come from. So this comes from Paramon, right? But it's also partially based on what I think will look better overall. So like, I think too much yellow won't look as good as having a nice red to pop up, especially like here. Red would look really good right here. So I do change it around based on just what color I think is needed at a moment, as long as it works, right? So if this didn't have a red line coming into it, I wouldn't even consider it. But if it does have a red line coming into it, I'm like, yeah, let's go with red for that. Assuming that it's not like a top care. If it's a top care and it's the only thing there, then I will use whatever color it comes from. So, yeah. Anyway, that is all for tonight. So we got some good work done on the Wind Guardians. We got the database updated with a ton of information on different Digimon evolutions. So that is much more helpful now, especially for people getting their devices in. And I'm going to be continuing to update this over the next several... We'll see. I'll probably be doing more stuff with it like all the way through next week. So I'm not going to finish. I'm not going to finish it before then, especially because I got to do a big video editing project this weekend. My mom she has a piano recital coming out this next Thursday, and because you know the plague and diseases everywhere, we can't do those in person like we used to do. So starting with the one last year, I've done 2 of them already. This is my 3rd one I'm working on. I've been doing the video editing for her on those, which is... It's interesting. It's very hard to get people to submit me videos the way I need them. So that we just have all our piano students take a video, send it in, and then I compile them all, add some title cards here and there, and make sure the audio levels are good and not all over the place. Because when I get them, those audio levels are absolutely all over the place. So that's going to be partially what I'm doing this weekend is editing that up, make it ready to go, and then I'll come back to this for sure. So anyway... yes, Mega, you definitely need to learn JavaScript. It's very helpful, and PWAs are super, super helpful. And yeah, with cookies, I would still want the VPET to contact the server at least on load, just to make sure it's got that up, because a big thing is you want to make sure that stuff is like staying in sync with each other. So that's the only thing. But an offline version will also definitely be possible. Like, you can absolutely do an offline version of it as long as people don't clear out the cookies. Anyway, that is all for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and hanging out. I really do appreciate having the company when doing this, because coding is a very lonely thing to do. And it's always, well, this isn't really coding either, but you know what I mean. Doing this is normally a very solo thing, so it's always helpful to have company around. Anyway, I will be doing this again next week on Thursday. Again, if you aren't in the Discord server, come hang out. There are lots of fun people in there that will talk about Digimon V-Pets with you and other things Digimon and just things in general. So anyway, I hope the rest of you have a wonderful night, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye!